10-4. Sending backup to Babylon and Egypt. There's 144,000 men armed with Bibles. 6 Alpha 656 needs emergency backup to Babylon and Egypt.
That's your God-given name. We still have people walking today calling themselves Bohemians. We can't find them names at the Bible.
But we was forced to be slaves. But the reason why we since then, I ain't trusting them who they are. And I ain't trusting them know that we are in that place. Okay? So we're going to read to you in the Bible. Alright? That we are the Israelites. Alright? And that we are in that place that was put upon us by God.
Of slavery, of us coming here in slave ships, of us losing our identity, of us being sold to other nations is written in the Bible.
The grave, we were brought here as slaves. Them boys out there to get you, be safe. Gotta meditate continually.
Nehemiah testified against us just like we talking to y'all now. He had to speak out against the evil thing that these people were doing. He was trying to give them the knowledge of God, but they were rebellious. They did not hearken. Read.
And I testified against them in the day wherein they sold victuals. There dwelt men of Dietary also therein, which bought fish and all manner of wealth, and sold on the Sabbath unto the children of Judah and in Jerusalem. Then I contended with the nobles of Judah and said unto them, what evil thing is this?
What?
What evil thing is this?
Read that again. What
evil thing is this?
The Most High God said it is an evil thing to defile the Sabbath day. It is an evil thing to do this. Our people must stop or they will continue to drink out of the cup of the curses. They're going to continue to be on the bottom. We have to overcome these different things that we do. We have to get out of these customs. Read.
And profane the Sabbath day. Did not your fathers thus? And did not our God bring all this evil upon us?
So why do you think we get shot down? Why do you think so much oppression happens to our people? Why do you think it seems as though God is not fighting for us and can't hear us anymore? It's because of our sins. Give me Isaiah 59. Because you got to understand, in order for the Most High to draw near unto us, we got to draw back unto Him.
That's right.
We the ones that went away from the law, statutes, and commandments. So now we have to make it right. We have to repent. And we have to come back to the commandments. Read.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 59 and verse 1.
Bring it up.
Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened, that it cannot save.
So the Most High is not powerless that He cannot turn your life around. He's not powerless that He can't take a base people and make them the greatest people on the face of the earth. He's not powerless, nor does He not care. The problem is we adopted sin into our lives. What's going on, sister? How you doing? We out here teaching the Bible. I see you got your Bible with you. Now let's actually go over some things about the Bible, because the thing is this. Give me the one in Sirach. He that believe, take heed to the commandments. Alright? Because you got to understand this. You could actually come up under the, if you don't want to get rained on, sis, you good. Now, when you say you believe, right? When you read something, even if you never heard it before, are you going to trust your own belief, or are you going to trust what's written? Okay, so we're going to stick to what's written. Let's see if we're going to test. This is going to be the measuring stick, and if we sincere about this, about the laws of God. Read.
That's right. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 32, verse 24. He that believeth in the Lord taketh heed to the commandment.
You hear that, sis? It said, he that believeth in the Lord, he's going to take heed to the commandments. All right, now, so one question you might be asking yourself, well, what are the commandments? What does God require of us, right? Because obviously He wrote things down in the book He wanted to be followed, right? So where are the things in the book that we need to make sure we're paying attention to? And then also, you looking at your community, right? You see your people, you see us oppressed every day. Why is that so? So we're going to answer these questions for you. Now the first thing I want to address, what are some of the commandments? Let's go with the very basic thing. Let's just deal with today. We read it before. Today is the Sabbath day. Do you know what the Sabbath day is? Okay, you heard the 10 Commandments, right? You probably got the 10 Commandments somewhere on your wall somewhere, right? Okay, hey, there you go. But on there, it's going to say something like, keep the Sabbath day holy. What day is the Sabbath day? And how do you keep it holy? So we about to dig into that. All right, let's see Exodus 20 and 8.
Bring it out.
Bring it up.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 8.
Bring it up.
Remember the Sabbath day.
Now it says remember. Now if I tell you to remember something, what does that mean? At some point you must have forgot, right? So our people don't know what the Sabbath day is. They don't know the significance of it no more. When is it in a week? When is it? Is it the first day of the week? Is it the last day of the week? Oh really? Let's look at do you have a calendar on your phone? Okay, let's look at this. Because guess what? The details matter, right? If God says do something on the last day and you're doing it on the first day, are you being obedient or disobedient? Now guess what, sis? That never got changed. That has always been that way. You understand? Sunday is always and ever and forever will be the first day of the week.
That's right.
You know what? When God created all this stuff, he didn't even give them names. He just numbered the days. So let's see what the significance of the Sabbath day is. Now, let's go back to Genesis when he actually said, I created the Sabbath day and I rested on this day. You know what I mean? Because he created the heavens and the earth in 6 days. He used that one day to say, you know what? This is the day I want you to reverence me and to abide in, you know what I'm saying, the things that I stand for. Now, it's not to be confused with we don't keep the laws any other day but just one day. We keep the laws every day. But there's certain things we do to show God that we love him on today that we do differently any other day. All right? Read what you got.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 1. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished.
So after he created the heavens and the earth, everything you see right now, after that was done, let's see what was the first thing he set up. Read.
And all the hosts of them. And on the seventh day, God ended his work, which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work, which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day.
God did what?
And God blessed the seventh day.
So he made it holy and he put a stamp of approval on that thing. He said, today is going to be holy. Today I'm blessing this day. I want this to be done the way that I'm going to explain how to keep this day. I want it done that way. Don't mess with that day, all right? You can do all your work. You can make all your money any other day of the week. But I got one day that you're supposed to reverence me. All right? Read.
And sanctified it, because in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made.
So he said he made this is special, this is holy, all right? We're not supposed to buy and sell. Let's see some of the things we're not supposed to do on the Sabbath day. Let's go to Nehemiah chapter 10 and verse 31. And as we read these things off, look at if our people really love God or are we full of crap. Because you got to think, everybody had the Bible in their hand at some point in time. And if I walked up and down the street and asked 10 people, do you love God? I would get 10 yeses. But if I ask, hey, do you know what the Sabbath day is? Question marks. They're not going to have a clue. But the thing is this, we pride ourselves saying we know God and we love him and we want to do this, but we miss the ball when it comes to us actually doing what he says. Now let's see if we in good standing with God or is God angry right now because of what he's saying. Read.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 10, verse 31.
Bring it out.
And if the people of the land bring ware or any victuals.
The word ware is merchandise. The word victuals is prepared food. So it says that the people of the land bring ware or any victuals when?
On the Sabbath day to sell, that we would not buy it of them on the Sabbath.
So he was commanding the people like, look, what are y'all doing? You're not supposed to buy and sell on the Sabbath day. We commanded not to do so. When Jesus Christ himself saw people buying and selling on the Sabbath day, what did he do? He flipped the damn tables. And he was upset because this has always been something that was holy unto God. So how are we going to take something holy and we going to whitewash it and make it plain like every other day? Like he ain't just saying it was special. Let's see what else we was doing in Nehemiah. Let's go where it was talking about how it's an evil thing. We just read that. Read that. 13 and 15.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 13, verse 15. In those days, so I in Judah, some treading wine presses on the Sabbath and bringing in sheaves.
So he was saying he was in the land of Judah. You know who the children of Israel are? It's these people right here, sis.
That's right.
That's the subject matter of this whole Bible. Look on this sign and identify yourself. Who do you descend from according to your father? Who would you say you are? Because all the time you've been reading that book, you've been hearing about the children of Israel, but you never consider that you actually are these people here on the sign.
That's right.
You actually are the daughter of the prophets. You understand? So that's a very heavy thing because everybody wasn't born of a particular bloodline. Alright? Truth be told, God is only dealing with one nation of people.
That's right.
If he was dealing with everybody, guess what? He would never say this scripture right quick. Let's go to Exodus 3 and 6.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 3 and verse 6.
Bring it up.
Let me see if you heard this scripture before. Because where I'm going with this, it's going to be made clear of why I'm bringing out who the children of Israel are. Why the laws are important. Because the laws pertain or belong to the children of Israel. If you don't know you're Israel, you're going to look at the laws and be like, I ain't got to do that. That's where we messed up. But let's see if God identifies himself to being God of everybody on the earth, or he dealing with one family. Let's see what he says out his mouth. Read.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 3 and verse 6. Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And
so who's Jacob? So God just said, I'm the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You heard that before, right? Why would he say that? Why wouldn't he just say, I'm the God of everybody? Why did he make a specific distinction on the bloodline of people? Because Abraham had many children. Isaac also had multiple children. But it goes all the way down to Jacob. You understand? Jacob changed his name to Israel.
that's right.
And he also had 12 sons. So to answer my question, who would you say you come from? Is your father from this native land? Huh? You say your father's American black? Or was he from here? So more than likely he's from the tribe of Benjamin. You know what I mean? The so-called West Indians, right? But you won't find Bohemian, you won't find West Indian, you won't find none of that stuff in the Bible, but you will find the children of Israel. You will find Benjamin there. And guess what? You know Paul? You know the tribe he from? Benjamin. Guess what? Paul would have been called a so-called Jamaican. You know who Moses is? What tribe he come from? The tribe of Levi. He would have been a so-called Haitian today. You know who the black Messiah, Jesus Christ, what tribe he come from? Judah. But guess what? They said he was a white man. So we got to go back and relearn this Bible. That's what Jesus Christ himself said. You got to come as a little child and be retaught. That's why we going over scriptures that say remember the Sabbath day, because we going to lose all the information that we have. Guess what? We the only nation of people that let our enemies teach our children. You know how dangerous that is. The Chinese man send their kids to the white man's school, or they teach their own. They teach their own. The Arab, they teach their own children. We the only people that let our children go to the same people that called us animals and had us on auction blocks and did all these atrocious things to us. We let them dictate what we eat, how we dress, what we identify ourselves as, what nation we say we come from. We let them dictate all of that stuff. No more. No more. Because the Most High God already told us who we were. We just forgot. So it's our job to wake our people back up, to get them to remember the covenant that the Most High made
with our forefathers.
That's right.
And one of the small parts that you can start today is keeping the Sabbath day holy. Now let's get back into the Sabbath day.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 13, verse 15.
Bring it out.
In those days saw I in Judah some trading wine presses on the Sabbath.
So now you know the significance of Judah and who they talking about. Nehemiah himself is an Israelite. He's seeing other Israelites do the same thing. I don't give a damn about the white man selling his stuff. I'm just concerned with the land of Judah. I'm just concerned with my people here because we made a promise with God and we broke that promise.
Right.
So guess what? If you have children and you give them instructions and they break your instructions, not because they didn't know, they just didn't want to do what you told them to. Are you gonna bless them or are you gonna punish them? You gotta punish them, right? So how you think we living right now? You think this is living? No, this is punishment right now.
Right.
Because we did not want to do what God commanded of us. And it's very simple. Just like you see an example of us being stiff-necked and rebellious. That's how you describe the Israelites, right? Who more stiff-necked and rebellious? Who more stubborn than the black fish? Who more stubborn than us? Nobody. Guess what? We are the people of this book.
Right.
I'm gonna prove it to you. Read. Because they doing the same thing today that they did back then. We still ain't learned our lesson. That's why it ain't never changed for us. That's why we still at the bottom. Let's see how Nehemiah was dealing with his people. Read.
And lading ashes, as also wine, grapes, and figs, and all manner of burdens, which they brought into Jerusalem on the Sabbath day.
Doing all manners of work on the Sabbath day.
And I testified against them.
So he had to testify against them. When you testify, that means you producing your cause and you speaking your, you know what I'm saying? You producing a cause. My cause is saying the Bible is against us binding something on the Sabbath day.
Right.
My testifying against the people now is like, wake up. We don't keep God's laws anymore. That is the problem.
Right.
The solution is we keep God's commandments and we will be back on top. Because that's how he created us in the first place. Right.
And I testified against them in the Sabbath day, wherein they sold victuals. There dwelt men of Tyre also therein, which brought in fish and all manner of wealth, and sold on the Sabbath unto the children of Judah and in Jerusalem.
So imagine in biblical times, the prophet Nehemiah was looking at the same exact setup. We got brothers over here with food burning on the Sabbath. We got people over here buying and selling. Now we trying to save our people from getting destroyed again.
Right.
Don't you know war is coming? War is coming to the land. It's going to be a day that this whole earth is going to melt like burn like an oven.
That's
You understand?
right.
We trying to save this people from the coming judgment, from their wickedness. But they don't want to see it because they ain't even got 2 minutes to hear something that they never heard before.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But everybody believe in God though, right? That's why I gave you the scripture that said, he that believe, take heed to the commandments.
Right.
All right? Now you got your Bible with you. I suggest you follow along. Because Romans 3:3 said, let God be true and every man a liar. All right? I'm not a used car salesman. I'm just reading what I see right here in the book. Now, I encourage you to follow along if you can. Let's go.
Verse 17. Then I contended with the nobles of Judah and said unto them, what evil thing is this that ye do and profane the Sabbath day?
He said what?
What evil thing is this that ye do and profane the Sabbath day?
So is this righteous? What's going on? This is evil according to God.
Right.
But guess what? Our people, we either don't know or don't care. Most of the people just don't care. And that's why we're in the predicament that we're in. Alright? So, now that we understand what we're supposed to do on the Sabbath day, let's get some more laws. Now, you have children. Now, let's say, would you give your children, I don't know, maybe dog food to eat? Why not? What if you put it in the soup and you put some hot sauce on it, you spruce it up, you put some vegetables on the side, will you give them the dog food? No. It's beneath them, right? That's not a hard question. You would not do it because you love your children.
Yeah.
Now the Most High God already gave us a dietary law.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's certain things that we are not supposed to eat. You understand me? Let's see what the Bible talks about what we should and should not eat. Because also in these churches, they make no distinction on what's holy and right no more. you ain't got no law, no judges no more. Everybody say, oh, you can't judge me, or whatever. They say a catch-all phrase to get the attention off of themselves. But they don't want the correction and righteousness of God anymore. So my sister, I know you came up a little later. I was going into who our true nationality is according to the Bible, right? Because we come from all different walks of life. We come from all different nations on the earth. We call ourselves all kinds of stuff, right? I'm walking up the street. I ask your brother what's his nationality. He say, oh, well, my nationality, I'm black. Another brother say, oh, I'm African American. Another brother say, oh, I'm Bohemian. Another brother will say, oh, I'm Christian. None of these are nationalities. You're not gonna find any of these names in the Bible.
Right.
But the Bible talks about nations of people all the time.
Right.
So the question should be, well, what nation do I come from? So sister, on this sign right here, did you know that these are the 12 tribes of Israel? These are the people that God made his covenant with, their ancestors. In Exodus 3:6, he says, I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. These are the sons of Jacob. So who do you come from according to your father? Because the day you understand who you are, the Bible is going to seem more relevant, because the laws of God were given to the Israelites. The reason why we don't keep our laws anymore is because we don't even know that we Israelites.
Right.
It's like you looking at rules, but you're like, oh, those don't apply to me because I'm a Gentile. I'm whatever the white man told me I was. That's not true. All right, now let's get some of the dietary laws. Leviticus 11 and 7.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 7.
Bring it out.
And the swine, though he divided the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he chewed not the cud. He is unclean to you.
So it said the swine, right? What is a swine? Do we know? Pork. Pig. That's what a swine is. Read that again.
Verse 7. And the swine, though he divided the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he chewed not the cud. He is unclean to you.
So God said the swine is unclean. But guess what? People thought the Muslims came up with that concept. No, they did not. The Muslims ain't got nothing original. Ain't nothing original about a Muslim. Guess what? They book means Quran, that means to recite. That means, guess what? They had to actually hear somebody teach the Bible and they made their own spin-off religion on it. Because guess what? Ishmael is the people that religion Islam. Ishmael ain't on here. Guess what? Ishmael was not chosen. His brother Isaac was. And that's why God said, I'm the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know what I mean? So the true nature of the Bible is not just a religious book. It's not a fairy tale. This is a book that talks about the people of God, their history, and their solutions. It also talks about how they will be in trouble in the last days.
Bring it out.
But it also gives us the ways out of it. Now, we was talking about the dietary laws. I'm just going over the simple principles that we have just missed, but they make a big difference if you actually start to do these things. Now, I asked her before, would you give your child dog food to eat? Why not? What if you could spruce it up and put it in the stew? What if it tastes real good? Would you do it? Absolutely not, because your son is precious to you, right?
Right.
And you above it, right? So God also looks at us like we are his precious children.
Right.
He made all these animals and all these creatures on the face of the earth.
Right.
But he also didn't make all of them for us to eat. Certain animals have purposes that they need to be on this earth. We said, nah, I'm gonna eat the thing that eat trash and I'm gonna eat it. You ever heard the expression, you are what you eat?
Yeah.
What does a pig eat? Anything and everything. The job of a pig was to clean up the filth of the earth.
That's right.
If you take a pig and put it in a pen and a rattlesnake bites it, and the rattlesnake is one of the most venomous snakes. If a rattlesnake bites the pig, guess what? That pig ain't even gonna die because it does not have a developed immune or digestive system. It was meant to clean up the filth of the earth. It was meant to eat filthy and raw and decaying things. It was meant to eat dead carcasses so the earth don't get overfilled with dead carcasses. So something has to clean that up. That's why if a pig get bit by that snake, it's immune to poison. Guess what happens to that venom that got absorbed into that pig? He pushes it out to his outer fat. You know what I mean? Because they don't sweat, they can't. And they also excrete this pus out of the back of their hooves. But what does our people eat though? We eat pork on an alarming rate.
Right.
Guess what? We're eating an animal that just ate the dead flesh of other rotten animals.
Right.
You know what I mean? They grilling pork right now. Guess what? They had to kill us. They had to kill us and force us to eat pork chitlins.
That's right.
Now we fry it up and make it a delicacy like it's a big thing. But then we wonder why we got diabetes at a alarm rate. We wonder why we have gout. We wonder why we have all of these different diseases. It's because you are what you eat. God said, read that again. He said, this animal right here, it is unclean. Read.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 7. And the swine, though he divided the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he chewed not the cud. He is unclean to you.
Keep reading.
Of their flesh shall ye not eat.
That's straight and clear and cut. Ain't no Christian pastor could come behind that and say otherwise.
Right.
God just said the swine is unclean. You should not eat his flesh. Keep reading.
And their carcasses shall ye not touch.
It shouldn't even touch your food. I know a lot of people might be like, oh, well, you know, I had some bacon on my sandwich. Can you take it off? And, you know, I ain't eat the bacon. I just took it off my sandwich. But would you, if a piece of doo-doo hits a sandwich, would you take that sandwich and just take the doo-doo off and eat the sandwich anyway? No, absolutely not. So God said, of their flesh you shall not eat. You shouldn't even touch nothing that touched your food. You don't want pork nowhere in your plate.
Right.
Nowhere in your food at all. You understand? Let's see what else they talk about. Read down in verse 9.
Verse 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever had fins and scales in the waters.
So the Most High also told us that it's a certain level, a certain, what'd you say? Certain requirements for the land animals you can eat. That's why they talked about it has to be cloven footed and it has to chew the cud. Basically it said you have to have an animal that has the cloven foot of a cow, you know what I mean? Or like goat, or you know, chicken, ox, things of that nature. Because these are clean animals. What they do is they eat like, you know, herbs and stuff like that. And they also have a way of digesting their food. Right? They actually have like 7 stomachs or something like that. But now we're gonna talk about the requirements of the food that you can eat from the sea. Because just like you have land creatures that clean up the filth, you also have ocean creatures that clean up the water. Now, the world's water has been getting dirtier and dirtier and dirtier and dirtier. And people are like, why is the water so nasty? Well, guess what? We're killing God's filtration system. You know what God's filtration system is? Let's read about it. Read.
These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever had fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
So he told us you can have all the fish, all the fish with skins or scales and fins. If it has fins and scales, you can eat it. Now let's see who's actually going to clean up the filth of the earth or the water. Read.
Verse 10. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
They should be a what?
They shall be an abomination unto you.
Wow, I thought homosexuals was just the only abomination. They said, guess what? If you eating something without fins and scales, that's an abomination. Now, let's make it real. What do our people love to eat? Conch. Does it have fins and scales? What is a conch? What is it made of? Snails. What do they do? What do they do? They clean the bottom of the sea.
That's right.
Crawfish do the same thing. They clean the bottom of the sea.
Right.
Guess what? Shrimp do the same thing. They the cockroaches of the sea.
Right.
You know, these are the things that we love. Catfish, right? What does it do? Where does catfish live? They at the bottom of the ocean. They out there eating all the doo-doo. Because guess what? You got an ocean in there with all of these millions of animals, all of them peeing doo-doo in the water. Why ain't they filled up yet? Something was supposed to be eating that. Right. So that's why the water get nastier, because we taking the shrimp, we taking the crab, we taking all these things that was supposed to filter this water, and we eating it ourselves.
Make it plain.
And in return,
we have cars in the ocean.
Right.
Cars. A lot of cars.
And so now we eat these things and now our health starts to fail. Now we have all these foodborne illnesses and things of that nature. This is not gonna kill you just immediately. I ain't saying you eat a crab leg, you bite into it, you're gonna die. No, that's not how it works. But over time, it's going to kill you. It's going to create sicknesses in your body. Right. You know what I mean? Because of what they eat. They was made to be filtration systems.
Which chapter is in the Bible?
That's Leviticus. That's the book of the laws. The problem is you don't hear this because guess what they say? We don't want to keep the laws. We can't keep the laws because if the pastors preach the laws, guess what? They will be out of money.
Now they will see the true men of God. We are not black men, we are the Israelites. Take care of us. And our children too. And our children too. We have repented. We have repented. How about you? People want to know who's the king.
O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father. O nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father.
Now why they trying to make it so hard to serve God? And why when I say that I'm a Jew it sound odd? For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sounds wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcasts, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.